Welcome to today's breaking news. The FBI has just raided Whoopi Goldberg's estate, uncovering shocking evidence that has sparked major speculation. Is this just a routine investigation, or is there a much bigger mystery behind it? What the FBI discovered could change everything we thought we knew about the actress. In this video, we'll reveal stunning details, the latest theories circulating online, and the burning questions that remain unanswered. Could this investigation put Whoopi's career at risk? Let's dive in and find out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with the latest news.
Love, which is kind of okay. And the older I get, the happier I am. And so just in case, and I'm directing this to folks who may want to write me on the internet, here's the deal. I know how cute I am. So you don't have to tell me I'm not attractive enough to have a boyfriend because, shockingly...
Storm at dawn. The shocking raid on Whoopi Goldberg's estate. The sky was still cloaked in darkness when the deep hum of engines shattered the early morning silence. A convoy of unmarked black SUVs crept onto the quiet street, their tinted windows concealing the figures inside. With precision and purpose, the vehicles came to a sudden halt, doors swinging open in unison. Heavily armed federal agents poured out, moving swiftly to secure the perimeter of Whoopi Goldberg's lavish estate. The gleam of tactical rifles reflected under the dim glow of streetlights, setting the stage for a high-stakes operation. This was no ordinary visit. It was an orchestrated strike, and the world would soon demand answers. Inside, Whoopi Goldberg was jolted awake by the commotion. Disoriented but composed, she made her way to the front door, her mind racing with questions. As she turned the handle and stepped outside, her gaze met a sea of federal agents, their expressions unreadable but their intent clear. The harsh beam of a flashlight illuminated her face, momentarily blinding her. Despite the overwhelming scene before her, Whoopi maintained her characteristic calm, though the subtle flicker of bewilderment in her eyes did not go unnoticed. With an authoritative voice, an agent read out the search warrant, leaving no room for doubt. This was official. Within seconds, agents flooded into the estate, moving with practiced efficiency. Bookshelves were scanned, drawers yanked open, and documents rifled through with meticulous scrutiny. No detail was too small, no object too insignificant. Every piece of furniture, every inch of wall space, and every decorative item became a potential clue in whatever mystery had drawn the authorities here. The hushed radio chatter of the agents filled the grand halls, a stark contrast to the usual tranquility of the estate. Outside, the world was already reacting. News of the raid spread like wildfire across social media, igniting speculation and fueling countless theories. Was this linked to financial misconduct, or was there a deeper, more ominous secret lurking beneath the surface? As the first rays of dawn crept over the horizon, the search continued with no end in sight. The biggest question remained unanswered. Why had the FBI set its sights on Whoopi Goldberg? The hidden vault and the sealed letter. An unsolved FBI mystery resurfaces, footsteps echoed sharply in the narrow underground passage as the agents advanced deeper into the newly discovered vault. Behind what had once seemed like a solid brick wall, a hidden doorway had been unearthed, revealing a subterranean chamber untouched by time. The air was thick with humidity, carrying the scent of aged paper, rusted metal, and a faint trace of something burned long ago. As flashlight beams swept across the crumbling stone walls, rows of metal boxes sat neatly on dust-covered shelves, each one tightly sealed, its contents locked away in secrecy for what must have been decades. Amid the stacks of yellowed documents and layers of dust, a single handwritten letter stood out, strangely pristine despite its surroundings. A thick red wax seal held the envelope shut, its emblem instantly recognizable to only a select few within the bureau. A heavy silence filled the room as the agents exchanged glances, realizing that the symbol before them was tied to an infamous unsolved case, one that had confounded generations of FBI investigators. The mere existence of this letter raised urgent questions. Who wrote it? Why was it hidden here? And most importantly, what did it contain? The tension in the air was palpable, every small noise amplified in the underground stillness. One of the senior agents, his hands steady from years of handling high-stakes investigations, carefully picked up the envelope, feeling the brittle texture of its aged paper. Under the stark glare of the flashlight, the inked words on its surface remained legible, a whisper from the past still struggling to be heard. "We might be holding the key to one of the Bureau's greatest mysteries," one agent murmured, his voice barely above a whisper. The sealed metal boxes couldn't be ignored. Their reinforced construction suggested that whatever lay inside had been meant to remain hidden. One agent retrieved a specialized tool, working carefully to breach the seal on one of the containers. When the lid finally gave way, the contents sent a ripple of stunned silence through the room. Ancient documents written in an unfamiliar language, cryptic maps, hurriedly scrawled notes filled with symbols, and incomplete thoughts. The significance of what they had uncovered was undeniable. This was no ordinary stash of forgotten paperwork. It was something far greater, something deliberately concealed. Standing in the dimly lit vault, the agents knew they had stumbled upon more than just a hidden archive. They had inadvertently pulled back the veil on a long-buried truth. The letter, the red wax seal, the carefully secured metal boxes, all of it pointed to a secret that had remained locked away for decades. But now, with this discovery, they had only begun to scratch the surface of a mystery that could change everything.
You'll understand in a second. 25 years ago when I wrote this, I was going through menopause, and I thought, none of the superheroes look like anyone that looks like me. And I didn't understand why I could not be saving the world too.
Right?
I knew that the chest was on the floor, ass had gotten big, and I don't think that should stop you.
Secrets unearthed, the FBI's relentless search, and the mysterious metal box. The air inside the grand estate had turned electric, thick with urgency and quiet tension. FBI agents, clad in dark uniforms with bold yellow lettering stretched across their backs, moved with practiced precision through the sprawling residence. No detail was too small, no corner too insignificant. Every drawer was pulled open, every shelf examined, every document scrutinized under the harsh glare of tactical flashlights. Dust swirled in the air as books were yanked from their places, their spines momentarily gleaming before being tossed aside. The estate, once a sanctuary of privacy, had become an open book under the relentless eyes of federal law enforcement. Down in the dimly lit basement, an agent ran a gloved hand along the cold concrete wall, feeling for hidden compartments. Another pried up floorboards, the aged wood groaning in protest. The room had the stale scent of time, of things long buried and forgotten. Then came the discovery, a metallic glint barely visible in the shadows of a cluttered corner. "Got something," a voice cut through the silence, commanding immediate attention. Others turned, their flashlights converging on the object. A small, heavy metal box, its surface worn but still defiant against time. The sight of it alone sent a ripple of intrigue through the room. Lifting the box with cautious hands, an agent placed it onto an old wooden table, its weight suggesting more than just an empty vessel. There were no markings, no identifying features, just the cold, unyielding steel that now held the room in suspense. A collective pause followed, as if the mere presence of the box demanded reverence. Was it a key to something greater? A relic of an unsolved mystery? Or simply a remnant of a forgotten past? The atmosphere thickened with anticipation as they debated their next move. The lead investigator, his face carved with years of experience, stepped forward. "Open it," he commanded, his voice steady but edged with curiosity. A set of specialized tools was brought in, and with each turn of the lock-picking mechanism, the tension in the room grew tighter. Click, click. A final snap echoed through the basement as the latch gave way. Every agent leaned in slightly, eyes locked on the box, waiting to uncover whatever secrets it had been safeguarding for so long. As the lid creaked open, the contents remained obscured for a breathless moment. Then, under the cold glare of the flashlights, the truth was revealed, something that none of them had quite expected. A murmur passed through the agents, their expressions shifting between surprise, suspicion, and grim understanding. The search had begun as a routine operation, but with this discovery, everything had changed. The box had been hidden for a reason. Now, they had to figure out why.
They can say, no, it didn't happen that way. It happened this way.
Yeah.
But everyone's gone, and so I don't have. I have memories of things that happened, but I don't have specific dates or times. And so in the book, I said, I probably should have started the book by saying, this may or may not have happened exactly the way I said it happened. It happened, but I can't tell you when.
Whoopi Goldberg, at the center of a media firestorm. Hollywood's darkest secrets unravel? The moment news of the FBI investigation into Whoopi Goldberg broke, the media went into a frenzy, flooding headlines with sensational theories and speculation. Major news outlets ran provocative stories, hinting at her possible involvement in a cover-up tied to Hollywood's hidden past. Talk shows like The View, Good Morning America, and even mainstream news channels couldn't resist dissecting every detail, from the seized documents to Whoopi's alleged connections to long-buried industry secrets. Legal analysts debated the implications, while entertainment reporters eagerly speculated whether this was the beginning of one of Hollywood's biggest scandals in decades. On social media, the chaos escalated even further. Twitter, X, Instagram, and TikTok became battlegrounds for theories, ranging from Whoopi being a key player in a vast cover-up to her being a pawn in a larger power struggle. Viral posts analyzed every frame of the FBI raid footage, while old interviews were scrutinized for hidden meanings. Fans defended her, insisting she was a victim of media sensationalism, but skeptics pushed the idea that where there's smoke, there's fire. The speculation took on a life of its own, with countless influencers and self-proclaimed insiders weighing in on the controversy. Whoopi Goldberg, an entertainment icon with decades of achievements, suddenly found herself at the center of a storm that threatened to tarnish her legacy. Once celebrated for her intellect, humor, and unwavering presence in Hollywood, she was now being linked to dark allegations. Brand deals, film projects, and even her spot on The View seemed at risk. In an era where cancel culture can dismantle a career overnight, Whoopi faced a challenge unlike any before, one that could redefine how she is remembered in the industry. As pressure mounted, Whoopi's legal team swiftly responded, dismissing all accusations and assuring the public of her full cooperation with investigators. But, with the wildfire of speculation already spreading, the real question was whether a statement alone could put an end to the growing suspicion. History had shown time and again that in Hollywood, perception often outweighs the truth. Was Whoopi merely the latest high-profile figure caught in the crosshairs, or was she at the heart of a long-concealed secret? The narrative was being shaped, and whether or not it aligned with reality was another matter entirely. The investigation was far from over, but the damage to Whoopi's reputation had already begun. Whether she was innocent or guilty, one thing was certain: this controversy had shaken Hollywood to its core. In a world where fame and influence offer no shield against media firestorms, Whoopi now faced the biggest battle of her career. And if there truly was a hidden secret behind it all, the biggest question remained: who was pulling the strings, and what were they trying to keep buried?
Of audiobooks, now other kids who are like me or who were like me have access to audio for school things, for everything. And I said to them, you don't understand. You are what keeps me from going over the edge, because the books, whatever I'm listening to on any given day, I can calm myself to come out and really.
Whoopi Goldberg and the FBI raid. Unraveling the mystery behind Hollywood's latest scandal. The moment news broke of the FBI's unexpected raid on Whoopi Goldberg's residence, the public erupted with speculation. Some believed it was a routine investigation into tax evasion, hardly uncommon in Hollywood, where the ultra-wealthy sometimes find themselves entangled in financial disputes. Others suspected large-scale financial fraud, possibly involving charities or questionable investments. But lurking beneath the surface was a far more unsettling theory, one that hinted at a deeper, darker secret within the entertainment industry. Could Whoopi be caught in the web of something far more sinister than anyone had imagined? Speculation only intensified when reports surfaced that FBI agents had seized a collection of confidential documents from a hidden vault inside the estate. These weren't just ordinary financial records. According to insider sources, they contained information that could expose powerful connections Whoopi had maintained for decades in the industry. Were these documents key evidence in a larger federal probe? Or was this merely a strategic move in a high-stakes power struggle? Whatever the case, their mere existence raised unsettling questions that demanded answers. Legal analysts and media pundits wasted no time dissecting every angle of the unfolding drama. Some theorized that the government was using Whoopi as a scapegoat to divert attention from an even larger conspiracy, while others argued that the FBI wouldn't have acted unless they had irrefutable evidence. Meanwhile, conspiracy theories ran rampant across social media, ranging from allegations of Whoopi's involvement in a secret Hollywood syndicate to speculation that she possessed information capable of shaking the political elite. The uncertainty only fueled the fire, and the lines between fact and fiction grew increasingly blurred. Beyond the mystery of the seized documents, the public eagerly awaited Whoopi Goldberg's response. Known for her sharp wit and unshakable composure, she remained remarkably calm in the face of growing scrutiny. Supporters insisted she was the victim of political maneuvering or a gross misunderstanding that would soon be cleared up. But to skeptics, her measured silence only deepened suspicions. Was she hiding something? Or was she simply another casualty in a system that had turned against her? Regardless of the truth, one undeniable fact remained. This investigation had shaken the image of one of Hollywood's most influential figures. The question wasn't just whether Whoopi Goldberg was guilty, it was who was really behind this operation and what the true motive was. As more details continued to emerge, the world could only watch and wait to see whether this would be just another fleeting media storm or the beginning of a scandal that could change Hollywood forever.
Person, you know? And my kid has to feed her family. You know, and my great-granddaughter has to be fed by her family. I know it's hard out there. We talk to people all the time who say, this is what's bothering me. But the thing that's bothering everybody should not be the thing that puts 85% of other people in danger.
The Hidden Room. Secret letters. Between Whoopi Goldberg and a mysterious figure who vanished in the 90s. Amid the chaos of the FBI raid, one discovery sent shockwaves through the investigation. Tucked away behind a false wall in a hidden room, agents uncovered a trove of documents linked to a long-buried Hollywood scandal. Among them was a collection of handwritten letters exchanged between Whoopi Goldberg and an enigmatic figure who mysteriously disappeared in the 1990s. Sealed and carefully preserved, these letters hinted at a secret that could rewrite history, a truth that someone had worked hard to keep buried. These weren't just personal correspondences. They carried undertones of something much larger. Some were coded, while others referenced the price of silence and the consequences if the truth ever surfaced. Most intriguing of all, the recipient's name had been deliberately removed from several documents, suggesting an intentional effort to erase their identity. Who was this person, and why did they vanish just as a major Hollywood controversy erupted? Investigators suspected that these letters could be the missing piece to a puzzle that had remained unsolved for decades. As news of the discovery spread, social media exploded with speculation. Theories ranged from the letters being linked to a high-profile disappearance to whispers of a shadowy Hollywood power struggle. Some believed the recipient could have been an actor, a filmmaker, or even someone within the industry's hidden elite. Analysts combed through old reports of unexplained deaths, lawsuits that were swiftly buried, and accusations that never saw the light of day. If the contents of these letters revealed what many feared, they could unravel one of the entertainment industry's most closely guarded secrets. Supporters of Whoopi Goldberg argued that she may have been nothing more than an unwitting participant, drawn into a tangled web of power and ambition. But skeptics weren't convinced. They questioned why these letters had been locked away in a secret room if they were innocent in nature. Was this an attempt to suppress a truth too dangerous to reveal? Every answer led to more questions, deepening the mystery surrounding Whoopi's connection to this long-lost figure. With the FBI investigation still underway, Hollywood was holding its breath. The letters could either be dismissed as relics of a forgotten chapter or serve as the key to exposing something far more sinister. One thing was certain. This was no longer just about Whoopi Goldberg. It was about an industry that had long thrived on secrecy, and the possibility that, after decades in the dark, the past was finally coming back to haunt it. The Forbidden Tape. A buried Hollywood secret on the brink of exposure. Amid the stacks of old documents and sealed metal boxes in the hidden room, FBI agents stumbled upon something that made them pause. It was a worn VHS tape, its faded label bearing a chilling warning: "Do not watch." The simplicity of the message was unsettling. Who had written it? Why was this tape hidden away so carefully? And most importantly, what could possibly be on it that someone had gone to such lengths to keep it from ever being seen? As news of the tape's discovery leaked, speculation ran wild. Some believed it contained evidence of a long-buried Hollywood scandal, perhaps a confession, an incriminating recording, or even lost footage from an event that had been erased from history. Others theorized that the tape might be linked to a mysterious disappearance in the 90s, or expose the hidden power players who had long controlled the entertainment industry from the shadows. The uncertainty surrounding its contents only fueled the public's fascination, turning the tape into an object of fear and intrigue. FBI investigators knew they held something that could unravel a dangerous truth. But there was a major obstacle. Technology had evolved significantly since the heyday of VHS. Finding a reliable way to play the tape without damaging its contents proved challenging. And if the footage did contain something explosive, those with a vested interest in keeping it buried wouldn't let the FBI get to it so easily. The real question wasn't just what was on the tape, it was who wanted it to remain in the dark. Meanwhile, media outlets scrambled to cover the unfolding mystery. Veteran journalists revisited past Hollywood scandals, cases that had once dominated headlines before mysteriously fading away. Could the tape be the missing link that connected decades-old allegations, lawsuits, and sudden career downfalls? Or was it simply an overhyped relic from an era long gone? One thing was certain. Its mere existence sent shockwaves through the industry, rattling those who had spent their lives protecting its deepest secrets. In the end, the fate of the tape remained uncertain. Would the FBI release its contents, risking fallout that could shake Hollywood to its core? Or would it be quietly classified, locked away like so many other inconvenient truths? No matter the outcome, one undeniable fact remained. The discovery of that old VHS tape had set off a chain reaction, and Hollywood's carefully curated facade was beginning to crack.
Intimacy is different than completion, baby. You should know that by now. Well, here's the deal. Do you really want to be with someone who's not complete? That means you have to take care of them. You have to always be with them to make them better.
Oh, yeah.
You have to be a complete, I think, you have to be a complete person in a relationship. You have to come in as you so that you can function. This other BS of,
Whoopi Goldberg and the Hollywood firestorm. Career in peril amid controversy and conspiracy. The fallout from the scandal surrounding Whoopi Goldberg was swift and relentless. Once a formidable force in the entertainment industry, she now found herself at the center of an intensifying storm that threatened to unravel decades of hard-earned success. One of the first and most crushing blows came when a high-profile documentary project she had been developing, one that aimed to shed light on the hidden stories of Hollywood's past, was abruptly stripped of its funding. Investors, wary of the controversy and the potential damage to their reputations, pulled out one by one, leaving the project in limbo. The message was clear. In an industry that thrived on perception, association with Whoopi Goldberg had suddenly become a risk few were willing to take. The repercussions extended beyond her film work and into the very fabric of her daily career. The View, the long-running talk show that had become synonymous with Whoopi's bold and unfiltered opinions, began to feel the weight of the scandal. Major sponsors quietly withdrew their advertising deals, wary of attaching their brands to a program now mired in uncertainty. Network executives, once staunch supporters, reportedly held emergency meetings to assess whether keeping her on the panel was still viable. Though she remained in her seat, her presence had shifted, from a respected industry veteran to a polarizing figure whose every word was now dissected under the harshest scrutiny. Public opinion, too, was far from unified. On one side, her supporters vehemently defended her, arguing that she was the latest victim of a larger, more insidious Hollywood machine designed to silence those who knew too much. They pointed to the FBI raid, the cryptic documents, and the abrupt backlash as evidence of a calculated takedown, an attempt to discredit someone who had dared to pull back the curtain on the industry's deepest secrets. Social media campaigns with hashtags like "Macron Stand with Whoopi" and "A Hollywood Cover-Up" gained traction, drawing attention to the possibility that she was being framed for something far beyond her control. Yet, skepticism lingered among others. Those unconvinced by her defense questioned why the FBI had deemed her possessions significant enough to warrant such an aggressive raid. What was in those locked metal boxes? Why had she been in possession of handwritten letters from a long-missing Hollywood figure? If she was truly innocent, why hadn't she provided a clearer explanation? The silence from law enforcement only deepened the intrigue, leaving the public to speculate, debate, and ultimately draw their own conclusions. As Whoopi's career hung in the balance, one thing remained undeniable. The truth, whatever it may be, had yet to fully surface. We sincerely thank you for watching this video. This is one of Hollywood's most shocking stories in recent years, with many unanswered questions. The FBI investigation is still ongoing, and what we know so far may only be the tip of the iceberg. Could this be the beginning of an even bigger scandal? Only time will tell. We hope you found this video informative and would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates. Once again, thank you, and we'll see you in the next video, because the truth always finds its way out.